But make sure when you label a table, when you give a table, I mean, when you give a table or a list, some kind of a heading, make sure you differentiate between what a user story is and what a use case is. That was one thing. Um, the other comment I noted is that um, some of you, for whatever reason, are not using the product backlog. Now, remember when we are doing um, an agile Scrum development, we have a product backlog, and that product backlog is prioritized by the product owner. In this case, I am the product owner. So there is a reason why I prioritize the backlog for you. I took a look of how logically this application could be developed. Now, if you have a very good reason to not follow the product backlog that I gave you, then you are free to deviate from it, but make sure you indicate the reason. So for example, there are some of you are already developing reports. Now, reports obviously are very important, but if you have not done enough development yet, there is really very little you can show in terms of reports. So while it's not wrong, while I'm not taking off points because you did that, I'm wondering um, why is developing reports more important than the other use cases that I already have in the prioritized backlog. A few groups also decided to develop a database schema. There is nothing in the product backlog that talks about a database schema. And I know you guys can develop non-functional user stories, which is fine. But if a database schema is not really useful in any way in this project, and you're not going to use it for any reason whatsoever to meet the functional requirements, then why are you spending time on a database schema, right? So you should ask yourself that question. Where am I going to use the database schema in this project? I am not just going to develop a database schema for the sake of developing the database schema. Obviously, if you just want to learn how to do it, then it's fine. You're free to do that. But if it's taking time off of the functional requirements, then you have to think more closely about it. Any questions so far with the feedback that I gave you, or anything that I can clarify while we are waiting for Bronnie to join us? Anyone can jump in.
I have a question.
Yes, Alisa.
So regarding the consistencies between the use cases and the use stories.
Yeah.
So you don't want us to involve our use cases at all. They're like for specifically for ours near the user story that we've gotten done for the specific sprint, we have like the tasks listed out. Wouldn't the tasks be the use cases that were needed to get to the user story, or is that like not correct?
No, no, no. So what I'm saying is, for the most part, is your labels, how you label your, if I see a user story and then you label it as a use case, then that is wrong. Or if I see a use case and you label it as a user story, that is wrong. Now, typically what happens is in Agile, we usually go down to user stories. And then from the user stories, we develop the tasks. That's the development is then going to be based on those tasks, right? Now, but I am not requiring you to actually write out user stories for every use case. Right? So sometimes, like when we say manage knowledge repository, manage knowledge repository, as we said in class, involve at least 4 scenarios. You can add the repository, you can read from the repository, which is like what you do when you search. When you do the search, that is a read. You can report on the repository. Reading also is like when you search, you are reading information and that information is reported out to you. So you can leave it at that level. You don't necessarily have to go further down into a user story, because remember, user stories are from the user's perspective. So in this case, the use cases are from the perspective of the systems analyst, right? So one way or the, I don't, I would prefer if you drill down further into user stories and then your tasks. But if you don't, that is not going to lose you any points as long as you are consistent in the way you label. Whether it's a use case or user story, the label has to be correct.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening.
So Bonnie is here with us. And is there any other question before we move on? Okay, if there are no further questions, good evening, Bernie.
Good evening.
Let me just press record so we can have this recorded and then we share.
Recording in progress.
Class. So it's now recording. So just to tee us up, I know folks have a lot of questions, but Bernie, last week, after at the end of the session, I know you and I and Kyle stayed on and talked about how to configure a global account so that a guest user can send a ticket and that ticket is then visible and available. I have had like 2 or 3 groups asking the same question. I gave them the steps, but of course, seeing it demoed would be very beneficial for those guys. So for those of you who've asked me, and even if I have provided you with the steps, you can go ahead and ask that, and then we can demo that. But how do we want to proceed? I know some of you were here before I joined in or before I opened up the link. I usually want to go by how groups come on. So whoever was the first on the list, can you go ahead and ask your question?
Sure, I can start us off.
Okay.
So I had a question about the digital experiences and the customer UI with the search portal. So I was able to figure it's actually under that. When we use the builder, it comes with some auto-generated articles. I was curious, I guess, with our first question, how do we change those sample articles to become like the articles that we make?
Okay. All right, cool. Do you want to drive so I can walk you through it? Somebody
Sure.
or anybody in your group want to share?
Yeah, if you give me a sec, I can.
And give me 1 second. I have to tell kids to turn the tablets down because I'm having a hard time hearing. So.
So Jared, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Okay.
All right, so I'm back. Sorry. Evenings in the Young household are very interesting.
Are you guys able to see my screen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So all of those articles that you see are called knowledge articles, right? So if you click on that in the top, so you can go into the experience builder, right? So if you preview, all of those articles are knowledge articles, right? So when you come through so when you start up, when you start up like org, it gives you like a sample set of data. So that's the same thing here. When you start up your experience site, just gives you some sample articles. So what you want to do is you want to go into setup. So you want to go back into Salesforce. All right, then click on those little 9 dots to the left, up in the upper left-hand corner. And then you're going to choose knowledge.
Okay. Is my screen still following along?
I'm sorry?
Is my screen still following along?
Yeah, you're good. Right, so in that drop down that says recently viewed, just click that down and do all or published articles, right? So these are all the sample ones here.
Okay.
You can delete them, edit them, whatever you want. You can unpublish them and then they won't show up. Whatever you want to do.
Gotcha. Thank you. We can do that later, so we can get to some other questions. I was just curious how to get to this.
Awesome. Next question.
Now, the second part of your question was how a guest user can submit a ticket, and which was what I recently explained. So do we want to, guys want us to go into that now, or do you want to hold off until we've answered a few more questions?
I think that's a good one to go over, if that's okay.
All right, awesome. Who wants to drive?
Michael, do you want to share your screen so that we can?
Honestly, I don't have it pulled up. Jared
Okay,
has it pulled up right now.
Jared, go ahead and share your screen again so we can.
Hey guys, so yeah, I'm good to share my screen. I apologize if I have to jump out though. I'm actually at work right now, so I'm not sure if I'll be needed or not, but just thought I'd let you know now.
Okay. I mean, Sanjay also had the same question, but we can, since we already, it's very straightforward. It's just a couple of.
So I assumed, I guess the cases were,
Yeah. Do you want to, maximize your screen?
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we had our customer contact right here.
Yes. But the question I was having, like when you send a contact from there and then you go to the experience site, it's not, you can't see it. Right. That was a question I had from CNJ, and I gave them a few steps, but I don't know if those steps help them really. So, but we can go through it from here. Yes, Bernie.
All right, cool. So what we want to do is, gosh, where do we go? It was, my memory sucks. Okay, we're gonna go to all sites. So we're gonna go to hold on, let's see, where are we? Go to workspaces.
Where am I going?
You want to go to on the top? Hold on, let me see on the top. Go back into your experience site. Right, then scroll up that little thing, the little three thing next to home. That thing. Go to workspaces. And then here, go to is it administration? Let's do administration. And then go to, gosh, I can't remember where were we last week, Abdul? Do you remember?
I think it's settings, and then
It was gosh, you had to get to the guest user profile, and my mind is drawing a blank again. Hold on, give me a second.
So we went to setup and then quick find. We did global, and we have global actions, and then we.
Well, it was in here where we could get to the guest user profile. Hold on, give me a second.
I had to figure it out, so it should be pages.
Oh, some pages. Okay, let's go to pages.
Yeah. And then go to the force.com.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if you click edit, you should be able to edit the, like all the way on the top.
Yeah, public access settings. Yeah, click on, press cancel. And click on that public access settings. Yeah, that right there. Bingo. Here it is, right here. Okay. Now click on edit. And then on their edit, and then scroll down to case. So where first you have to give the profile access to the case object. So if you scroll down, that's not it. So if you scroll down further. Yep, the standard object permissions, right? So cases, you want to do read and create. Right, and then here press save.
Press save is at the top.
Yep, go back up to the top, press save. Okay, so now in here, so once you press save, you're gonna scroll down, and then you're gonna go to field level security. That's record types. It might
Wait.
be further. Let's go.
Further
Go.
down?
It might be further. It might be at the top. I think we passed it. Yeah, here we go. Keep scroll up.
Oh,
Yep. So you want regular cases, not a custom field. Right. Yep. See case right there.
yeah.
Yep. Click on view. And now these are going to be the fields that they have access to. So this is all by default. You want to just make sure that the name and whatever fields that are going to show up on the form, they have access to here to read and to edit. Those web, see the web company, web email.
Oh, okay.
Yep, those four on the bottom.
Do I need to like check these right here?
So that is it's view and then edit. Right. So you want to edit. So you're gonna edit
Do you
it.
know what a GeoWait is?
You gonna
Do you
edit
know
it.
the
Somebody's unmuted.
Yep, you're gonna edit. And then go down to the bottom, those four, and just make sure they have edit access to those.
Gotcha.
Right now, once you press save, now you should be good to go.
Okay, cool. I actually had a question about that too. I don't know if I can just get back to the builder.
There's another way that you can get there and not have to go through to like theforce.com. My memory. I'm running for public office and my campaign is driving me crazy. So my mind isn't all there right now.
Oh, good. So we created we wanted to do the what's it called, the use case assignment rules for the support right here, so that when they'd fill this out, they could say their role, like professor, student, or visitor.
Uh-huh.
We made a customer object. Should we just make a field within this?
Yeah, correct. You should do a custom field in case, or you could probably utilize the case type. There's a couple of fields on case that you could probably utilize for that.
Okay.
So take a look to see what's already there. You could probably use one of those. So also you see here, we have to change what's on that contact customer support, right? Because right now it's like contact name, subject, and description, and that's not necessarily what you all want, right? So
would you go to components for that?
So nope, in there you want to go back to Salesforce. So each component, that component is tied to a quick action. So if you click on it,
If I click this or click components?
click in the customer, click on there. So if you click on there, a little box is going to come up, right? So if you expand like general settings, site performance, let's see, where is it? Somewhere in there, it's going to have it's going to be tied to there it is, that global action, right? So that new community case, right? That form is tied to that global action, right? So go to guest users. We want to make sure that global action is for guest users because we're not using authenticated users, right? So that global action here, guest community case, right? So it's saying it's not a valid option. So what's the drop down? What's in there? Select or configure a global action. Click on that. All right, so configure global actions for guest users. Click on that. All right, so this is going to take you to. All right, so scroll down. Oh, why did it take you there?
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, go ahead and press save. And then let's get out of classic. So in the upper right hand corner, let's scroll to the top of the web page. None of that, do that drop down on community. No, do that switch to Lightning experience. There we go. Yeah, let's get out of classic. All right, now go to setup. And then in the left, you're going to do global.
Type it in here.
Yep, you're going to do global. Right, so global actions, right? So click on that. In that guest community case, let's edit that. I think we have to give access to that guest user profile access to that. Kyle, isn't that right? Like, how do we have to give the profile access to this global action?
Yeah, we use
Yes, yes. I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yes, you have to give that permission to access to that global action for it to be used.
Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. We'll get to that next. Right. So go ahead and just leave everything the same. Press save.
So these are giant crystals. These pillars of gypsum in the cave of crystals in Naica, Mexico, are the largest crystals ever found.
Hey, Kyle, can you go on mute? Oh, sorry. Sound like he's doing homework. So guest community case. So click on layout. Right. So you see
All about fossils.
So you see here all of the so you see here, these are the fields, right? So what we want to do is we want to put those web fields that we gave access to onto this form. So you can essentially you can pick any of those fields on the top, you can drag them down. So what you want to do is just go far to the right.
Like web company?
Yeah, you can just drag it down. Right. You want to probably, just whatever. Yeah, I think those were the three. It was a web company, web email, and subject and description. Was that it? I think that was it. Yeah. Yep. So we can do those. You can do those four.
Okay, so should I just save this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I can't drag these ones down. It's already on there.
Yeah. Yep. So when you save that. All right. Now what we need to do is you got to go back to that guest user. Right. So we got to go back to the experience. We have to go back to that profile.
Like right here.
And click on the little gear. And then do settings. And then there it is right there. Default help center profile. You want to click on under guest user profile. All right, scroll down. Yep, there you go. That down. There you go. Click on that. And that's going to take you back to where we went before when you press that force.com in the public access settings.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yep. So now we have to give that global action scroll. Crap. Where is it? Scroll all the way down to, let's see. Go back to the top. Back to the top. Custom setting and credential. Interesting. Okay, go back to the experience. And then let's click on the click on that component again.
Components?
Yep. That contact customer support. Yep. Now under global action for the guest user, let's see if we can click that guest one. Do the drop down under guest user. Yep, right there. Oh, interesting. I won't let you. I click on that configure again. All right, scroll down. Supports. All right, press save. Now scroll down. Interesting. Oh, okay. Okay.
I can jump in on this part if that's because I got it sorted out for this part.
Yeah, we had to do a record type, right?
Yeah, so the way I did it,
Mhm.
I went to site edit and then click edit and then just
Like right here, site edit.
uh yeah, and scroll all the way down. Okay, so you don't click guest access to the support API. And then
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, do that guest community case.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Why would that be in the support API? Okay.
This-
All right.
So
Well,
this is making it so like guest users can submit those forms.
correct. So now, when you go back to the site,
Let me move this.
you'll be able to pick it. You have it up over there. Yeah, just click on it. Go back to and click on that contact customer support form.
Right here. Oh,
Yep.
you about the builder?
Yep. Click on it, and then under guest user, maybe you have to refresh it.
Yeah, let me refresh.
There you go. All right, there we go. All right, now you can
I'm
publish.
good. I publish it now.
Yep.
And publish is just basically saving this.
Correct.
Got
Correct.
it. So now if I preview as a guest, are you saying before I couldn't use this form down here?
Yep. So see now you got the web company. You didn't have that before.
Yeah.
I don't think you had web email, so you can just type whatever and submit it.
Sorry, quick question, but
Use your Gmail. I'm sorry, Alisa. Use your Gmail account so you can make sure that it goes to your Gmail account. Okay. Okay, Alicia, go ahead.
so when we're so this is basically being able to edit the submission ticket to say what we want it to say. So we would have to go through all of this in order to get it to do that. It wouldn't be just like clicking the edit or the plus button to add it, right?
Now, this is for the guest user. Remember, we said parents or guests to UGA should be able to send in tickets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so without this account, you will not be able to implement that functionality.
Gotcha.
So what we've gone through is just to enable a guest user who does not have a UGA login to be able to submit a ticket.
Okay, gotcha. All right. But the regular way would just be adding on to its surface level if we're just adding questions or whatnot. But this is just making sure that the access, like for behind the scenes, is not limited to
No,
people
this
who
is
can get it.
this is your public facing website, right? So imagine the way this is going to be implemented or deployed is you would have a website, which is your Lightning website. And people are going to be able to search, right? Your knowledge base, which is your behind the scene, right? And then if they don't get the answers they want, they would want to submit a ticket. And so this just allows that user who has not been authenticated by the Salesforce security to be able to send a ticket.
Okay, thank you.
So it's not your backend at all. This is really your front end, if you will.
Gotcha.
Can I go next?
Yep. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
Yeah, so let me go back to the builder really quick.
While he's getting set up, does anybody have any questions about what we just did with the site guest user? All right.
So mine was you touch on it. I kind of just missed it. So with the whole editing the form to kind of like customize it. I know you. Let's see. So you went to the public access setting, and then you did some edit to display the username, the email, and like two other things. Where do I go? I accidentally missed that part.
Yeah. So if you so get out of here, go back into the experience site. Right, and then click on that settings, the little gear. Yep, and then scroll to the bottom and you'll see the guest user profile. Right, yep, scroll down, yep, click on that default help center profile there, and then that is field level security, right? So what you're going to do is here, I'm sorry, I just that Salesforce Classic gives me a headache sometimes, so I can't go in there. But yeah, so if you scroll down to case, like scroll to case on field level security. So yep, that's the page layout. So you want to go to the next section, field level security. Yep, go to case.
Oh.
All right, and then click edit, and you'll see those web things on the web ones on the bottom.
Got it.
Right, so yeah, you want to make sure you have edit access to those.
And then going from that was the creating. So here, and then also the permission. So which part do I comes first? Was it the configuration or the permission?
It doesn't matter which one.
It doesn't really matter. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what order you do it in, as long as you do both of them.
Okay, so for the permission part, how do I go about that? Sorry.
The permissions in terms of
I think the guest access.
so that they yeah, so if you go back to the profile,
where's that? Yeah, here.
Okay, cool. So you can go click back to profile. It's right next to edit. Yep, there you go. Now you need to also go down to the case object, right? So scroll all the way down. Actually, you need to press edit. You have to press edit first. And then scroll all the way. It's going to be towards the end where you have to give this guest user profile access to the actual case object. All right, so yep, there it is right there. So just look for case. Oh, you have it. Okay, cool. So you're good there with permissions.
Okay.
Yep, so you're good there. So yeah, you're good. You're good with permissions. So you have access to create it. You have access to view it.
So now it's just the configuration here. And then
yeah. And then doing that. And you're the one that pointed out to do the guest access to the API, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, so you're good there with that permission. So
got it. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Can I go next?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so I've been trying to figure out how to build the ticket submission web form. I've researched like web to case and web to lead. I'm just really not sure which direction to go in. That up on the website.
Okay, that's how is that different from the create case form that we've been working on? Is that another requirement or is that the same thing?
No, that's really the same thing. That was Jesse, that was what we just demoed.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was what we just demoed.
Yeah, we can.
These two questions are all on how to allow users to submit tickets.
Yeah, I mean,
now web to case and email to case are typically. I mean, web to case will give you some basic HTML, and email to case will give you like a crazy email address where you can email to. But to meet your requirement, the best way to do it would be how we had just demoed, by having the form on the experience site and just taking those 4 fields to create like a basic case.
Okay. So how would I access the experience site?
So what you want to do is you want to go click on the gear. And then do setup. And then go to actually, I never click on, you can go to this, like one of those global launch things too. So if you click on the little 9 things, have you set up knowledge yet?
Yeah.
You have? Okay, cool. So if you click on the little 9 thing, the little 9 dots.
Okay.
And then do view all. You can also get to your experience site this way. It is, keep scrolling, that help desk. Oh no, you know what? That's the app you picked. Okay, let's go to the setup way. I don't know what you named it. All right, so yeah, go to setup. And then click on, and then global find, click type experience. Over in quick find.
Oh, okay.
There you go. All right, so digital experiences, click on all sites. And then click on, that's your website right there. So click on workspaces or builder, click on builder. Up and then in here, you'll see, if you scroll to the bottom, right there, contact customer support. That's where your users will be. That's where your users, that's where they'll be supported. They'll be submitting the case.
Oh, okay.
Now you could get fancy and create like a page on here to do it if you wanted to, where you don't have to have it on the front page. You know, you could get fancy with it, but it's going to be easier to use that component right there to have them submit the case.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
And you can just how we did, like you have to configure the guest user to be able to submit a case, and then you have to give that guest user profile access to the permissions and all of that stuff. You have to configure the global action, all of that stuff that we had just gone through. You probably have to go through all of it also.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I had a quick question to kind of go along with that.
Sure.
So we created a form in page layouts and we're trying to add that to our experience site. So
Yeah.
you're saying we should just use the one that's already on there? But we like
So you
customize.
created a form and page layout. So you created a new page layout for case with fields that you wanted.
Yes.
Okay. You would have to replicate that. Well, you could on the global action, right? So that the global action that we just went over, that's going to drive what fields are on that component. So you could take the same fields that you put on the page layout and put them in your global action if you wanted to. And then that way they would show up in that component. It's not going to be styled the same, because in page layouts, you can have like different sections and things like that. You're not going to have that option, but you will have the option to have those fields on the page, but you won't have the option to have the different sections or anything like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question. So I'm trying to do the case assignment rules, and I know you said to use queues instead of like users. So let me share my screen.
Well, I think we actually said reverse. You could use queues or users, but give us a shot. Show us what you're doing.
Okay. All right.
For the lack, because you have a lack of users, I would use users because you don't have enough licenses to make a queue, really.
Okay. So, all right.
Okay.
So this is my. Let me try and move that out. Okay. So these are all the cases that I have.
Yes, sir.
And for each case, I'm trying to give it to a queue. And so my queues are like help desk level 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Did you actually make queues on the back
Yeah.
end? You
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Yeah, I made
Cool.
them like these.
All right. Open one of them. Edit one of them. Let me see what you
Okay.
got. Modified by 12 group. All right. Cool. Scroll down. Okay. Tier 1 desk support. That's a person. That's an actual user you have it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Now let's go to your. So what's the problem? It's not assigning anything.
Yeah, it's not assigning it to the.
Go to your case assignment rule and let's see you read your rule. Okay. And which one is so? Is that one the one that's active? Okay.
Yeah.
So if case priority equals high or medium, okay, edit it, please. All right. So scroll down some more. All right. So Q is that. So okay, if case priority equals high or medium, then assign to there. Okay. That's actually pretty simple and straightforward. Let's do something else though. Can you change it to Q? So go from Q to user. And then change the user to whoever's the member of that place.
I like the help desk person.
Yeah. Yeah, just clear your results. Yeah. So make it that. Okay. And then you have a login as that user?
No.
So you need you need to be able to log in as that user.
Okay.
Because that's the only way. Or create a case now. Create a new case and then let's see where it goes.
Okay.
Wait, there was an error. I saw it. Okay. What does it say? Assignee does not have permission to view cases. So you actually have to assign, you actually have to give that user the ability to see cases. So what kind of
users?
Yeah, what profile are they in? What permissions do they have?
Let's see.
That's it.
Standard platform.
No.
Okay.
They're going to have to be a standard user. So for the
Yeah,
sake of the argument,
that's right. And
for the sake of the argument, make the user assignment Tom Robin. Make it you, and I guarantee you it'll become you because you have access to it.
So you're saying in my the case assignment rule, make it Tom Rob?
Yeah, make it you.
Okay. Yeah, I did that and it worked. But the problem was
okay.
See it's right here. The problem is we ran out of standard user licensing.
Gotcha. All right. Barney, you got a suggestion on this part? Because they ran out of users, so you could actually assign that standard user license to this help desk support tier 1.
Yeah, you have you have 2 licenses. You just have one person in the queue, but it will still work the same way, right?
Yep, essentially.
Yeah, so
yeah, so your rule is fine. Is you just have a limited number of licenses.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could switch. So
I'm not sure the platform users have access to the case object.
No, usually
not.
The platform users don't have anything.
I think they have access to the account.
Yeah, account and maybe
contact. But
contacts. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else, you have to be a standard user.
Yeah, but you do have 2 system admin users, so you can't create another system admin.
Okay.
And that system admin would essentially
Yeah, you
pretty much
can.
have
Yeah,
those same rights as that standard user. So
yeah,
Right.
yeah. So you can change one of those to. Well, you can't really change your license to set, but you could try. But yeah, you can make one of those a system admin user because you do get 2 of those.
Okay. And
I
then
see you only have 1.
okay. All right. So I could just do that and make like one of like tier 1 and tier 2 system admin, and then tier 3 is standard user, and that would be
Yeah, but you can only have 2 system admins active at the same time.
right. Okay. All right. I'll work on that.
All right, awesome. Any other questions?
Yeah, just a couple of questions about the cases.
All right, yes, ma'am. Let's do it.
okay, let's do it.
Awesome. Let me go ahead and try to share my screen.
Give it a shot.
Oh, forgot we're on Zoom. Okay, there we go. Okay. So here there are some cases that we kind of created. We're just a little unsure of how to use them. So we were
Explain.
thinking that so for the cases, we put them on the help desk side of things. So this was the app that we made for help desk. And that was where we attached kind of like the knowledge repository, the files, and the cases. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll to the actual question. Okay, so we were just wondering if we are supposed to attach the tickets from the or attach the things from the knowledge report repository to the cases in order to create our cases in Salesforce for like the front end.
No, the cases come in via the front end. So on the experience side, when they key in, they go in and actually go to the customer support section on the experience site, they key in their issue, and that turns into a case on this side.
Yeah, yeah. So it'll be like a case that has like a status equals to new, but it would just have like a subject, and there's like a case origin field that you could probably create.
How would I do that?
Or case origin field. Gosh, how would you? So what? So
it's on that global action, right? It's on that.
Yeah. So what does anybody have it set up where we can see what a case looks like that after we submitted it? Like are the people who we did that with still on? That can they share a screen and show us what a case looks like after they submitted it? Okay, because when you submit it, like if you press new, like if you just do like a new case, right? So if you just press new,
okay,
right, you're gonna see, you're just gonna have like a bunch of default fields, right? That case origin, right? So if you click on that drop down
near status.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, you said case
Yeah,
origin. Sorry about that.
Case origin.
Origin. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So you can set it. So theoretically, that would be web.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. So you can set your case assignment rules. So whenever it comes from web to assign it to somebody, or you can set like a list view to only show the ones from web. Right. So, but once it's created, the idea is that the support rep would then click on it and work it, and then once it's resolved, press closed.
Yep.
So this is so.
So all that information would fill up from whatever they put in on the experience side.
Got you. And then from this side, from the help desk side, they would be able to edit it from here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go in and they would edit it. Like if it's, I can't I'm locked out of my whatever account, right? So you would go in, like if you click on that case, right, you click on the case number. So if you press cancel out of there,
Okay.
you just click on the case number, right? So this is where you would be able to like work it, right? So you can go in and you can go to relate it, right? And then you can create like a new case comment, right? So if you press like new case comment, and you can just say, hey, I talked to the user on today and they're really messed up. I have to go talk to somebody else or something, right? You know, just you theoretically just go through the action of working the case. And then when it's resolved, you would close it. And typically when something's closed, you'll send somebody like an email or something saying that your case is resolved. And sometimes somebody sends out a survey or something. You know, there's a couple of things that could happen. Right. But typically, you know, from a functional point of view, you essentially have a help desk worker. Once they get the case, they go in and they just basically work it. And then working it means, you know, you put in comments. If they give you screenshots, you can make it an attachment. You can, you know, there's a lot of different things you can do with it. Right. There's another component that you could add to this page that suggests like knowledge articles. Right. You know, that's like kind of using like some out of the box AI stuff. But, you know, there's like a lot of different things you can do.
Okay. And just asking for so when we created this this playground, this environment, it gave us like a URL. I was just wondering what to do if that URL isn't working.
When you created
like the playground, when we launched the cloud service and whatnot, it gave us a URL in order to like let someone access it. I'm assuming that was for the guest user or any type of user to access it. It doesn't work. We've had members of our group try to click on it and try to use it, and it does not work. And I was just wondering how to fix a broken.
Did you activate it?
Is it active?
It should be. I activated it when creating the digital experience site. Would that have done it, or is that different?
Let's check it out. Let's go to the experience site.
Okay.
Right, and I just go to setup, go to the little gear on the left, the gear on the left.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, that one. Yep. Now go to no, not there. Go to the little right, the one on top next to home.
Yeah, up, over.
Next to home. So you see the home and
up
then
and over.
Yeah.
There you go. To the left. There you go.
Okay.
Right, click on administration.
Admin. There we go.
Yep. Now here is where it's gonna say active or okay, so you got it active there. Now, if you take that URL right there, that's the one you can. Okay, so take that and just open up like another browser. Yeah, you have to do another browser.
Oh, complete other browser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Firefox or something.
Firefox, Safari.
Does it work on Microsoft Edge?
Edge, yeah, it'll work on Edge.
Yeah, it'll work.
That's probably why. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Now, if you scroll down, you're probably gonna get that error because you don't have access to credit card, right? We've gone through how to fix that.
Yeah, that's the global and whatnot and all of that.
Yep.
Just went through, right?
Global access and permission to case. Right?
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, y'all got 2 minutes. Y'all better make it good.
So I have a quick question. What is the point of having like a guest user access whenever they can just create a new contact if they're not already in the system?
So what's the point of having a guest user create a contact?
No, what's the point of having like the whole like guest user access if like
So the guest user, so basically, the way that Salesforce works behind the scenes, everything gives it basically needs a profile basically controls everything that you can see in Salesforce. Right. So that's just how Salesforce is built and architected. So for the general public to be able to see it, that's why they call it like a guest user. So a guest user is essentially a user that's not authenticated. So you just need a regular internet connection to get to it. So they just basically put that guest user profile there and then asking didn't give like certain permissions to that guest user just to allow the general public to be able to see it. So it's just the reason why it's there is because that's just how Salesforce is built, and Salesforce is designed to where you can't see anything unless your profile gives you access to do it. So they just created like a guest user profile. So if somebody in the general public that's not an authenticated user can see see all the Salesforce objects.
okay. But
And
if my like guest users can create a contact and submit a ticket, is that okay?
yeah, if you give that guest user access to create or read a contact,
Okay.
it can do it. Right. If there's some things that it doesn't allow a guest user to do. It might not. I don't know. We'd have to look at the profile and see if contact's one of the things that it would let it create and read. But basically, if you wanted them to create a contact, you could. I can't think of a use case why a guest user would need to create a contact, because that would open it up to that would open this website up to phishing. Because you have some people just like flooded with contacts, right? I don't know if that would be. I don't know. I can't think of a use case to why I guess user would need to create a contact, but I think you can if you go in and give it the permission to. That makes sense.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
I think the long and short of it is, unless you have a reason to allow the guest user with a contact, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, I can't think of a good reason why, but there might be one. I mean, I can't.
So I know it's not 8 o'clock, and Bonnie, do you still have some time in case?
Yeah, sure. I got a few more minutes.
So for those of you still around, if you have any question, it's a good time to ask it. And if you don't, then on Tuesday, we would also have folks from Ad Victoriam in class to help us with the project. But I want to be respectful of of people's.
You guys are bringing Ad Victoriam in? Cool.
Yeah, they come in like every semester. So
man, I did not know that, man. I have utilized their services, man, on 2 projects. They're pretty strong.
Yeah, they do experience sites, so that's right up their alley.
So they'll be here on Tuesday and they'll walk.
I'm glad to see everybody's like so far along. I've seen like people style the experience sites, and that's good.
Well, I mean, that's what I advise them, don't wait until the last minute, enjoy the project. I mean, it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah. Like once you get that case done in the case assignment rules, you're done, right?
You're done. You're done. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But most of the things that are left would be things that would be easy to just bring in an object like the calendar.
Bring in the calendar, do some cosmetic work on your actual experience site itself. But yeah, once you built the experience site and you built the back end on assignment rules and stuff, you got a case coming in.
Yeah, Brian and Kyle, just a question: do they have to create an app on the back end, or can they just leave it the way they are on?
You saw the person where we went to the help desk.
Yes,
that's how I would advise it to be done.
For them to do the app, right?
Yeah, it's easier that way.
I told them that, and I mentioned that that recording is already on the website, so they can take
Okay,
it.
cool. Yeah, that's how I would advise to do that.
Okay, guys.
I have one last question.
Sure.
So I know in the product backlog, Dr. Cisse, you mentioned something about like chatbots. Is that a requirement that we must have, or is it kind of a could have?
It's not a must-have. It's we are still of course we went through the fact that Einstein GPT is not going to be available, but if Salesforce still have some chatbot capabilities, I'm blanking on the one that they have right now that you can use, but that is a could have, right? So that is not something that is up there. So make sure you get your basic functionality. And then if you have time and want to experiment with how to have a chatbot perhaps do your triaging and all those things on the back end, then you can experiment with that. But that should be the thing to do.
Yeah, I think Einstein Bots is available. I know the AI one isn't, but I think you can do the regular Einstein.
Einstein Bots is available.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend time upfront doing that. Get the basic functionality, and then you can try to bring in the Einstein bot, which is not a ChatGPT based bot, but it also has some automation capabilities that you can utilize.
Yeah, you can ask it questions and tell it what to answer and stuff.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Tom Barney, thank you for your time today.
I'm glad to see everybody so far along. That's like,
it's dope.
Like the first semester that's ever been.
Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Okay, guys. Well, we burned another hour on Salesforce. So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate everyone.
Yeah, at Victorium, because like I said, they specialize in experience sites, so
they're pretty great.
They should be able to answer whatever questions you all have outstanding.
So next week should we also leave it on Thursday or Wednesday, or do we even need?
Either one is fine.
Either day, either day. I'm
open.
open.
Is fine.
Okay.
Barney, am I gonna see you on Saturday?
Nah, I gotta get out the vote stuff I gotta do.
Okay. All right. I will say what's up to your homeboys for you. I'll say what's up.
Recording stopped.
Yeah. Drink some alcohol for me. I'll be holding signs. I'll be holding signs and all that good stuff.
All right, man. Send some pictures, dude. Send some pictures, man. I want to see you doing your thing. I want to see it.
All right, yeah.
Thank you all for your help today.
All right. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Are you gonna post this recording tonight? Because I'd like to walk back through some of the steps. Or tomorrow.
I'll see how long it takes to, after you've done it, sometimes takes a long time to get it self-configured, and then before I can download it. So if it doesn't take long, I think I can hang around for another 10 minutes if it's.
Well, you're there past the janitors.
Yeah, then I can. Well, they know me here. They know me. Yeah. So.
Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Professor Sese, I just had a quick question before we go. Sorry. It was just about one of the comments that was left on our deliverable. I don't.
Which is a specific comment. You have to remind me.
Good night. Take care.
Yep.
It was a comment about the actual. It was anything below the Sprint View link.
Yes. So if you go back to your deliverable and scroll all the way down after the sentence that had your link, and you will see all the stuff that you have there does not belong. And some of it, the comment, I know that's like a comment I made a couple of years, and so that comment, first of all, does not relate to what you did, because I could click on your link, right?
Yeah.
So you can just go ahead.
I got that one from the manual because I thought it had to be because everything I took from the manual and pasted that first and then worked around that for the example because I thought that was
Cannot be from the manual because that was a comment that I made to a particular team because I could not view their demo. And even this time also there were a couple of projects or teams I could not see their demos. So I usually put in that when that is the case. And for your own deliverable, I could see your demo. So that was I did not put it there because I did not add anything on anybody's deliverable. My comments were all made on the evaluation page.
So should we not include the sprint review? Don't include the demo or don't.
No, can you just go in and open your project, or I can open your project and can you just go in and open your deliverable so I can
yes.
Go ahead and do that.
So this is it right here.
Right. So you see, this says why. Include the URL for the presentation in your deliverable. What is this doing here? Right? Use a comment if any. Usually I'll provide these after I grade your deliverable. This is my comment to a previous student's work. So I know this is not based on you. This is because you copied something from somewhere. And like I said in your comments, it's okay for you to look at what other people have done. That is why I gave you both the exemplar project, but you can also look. I know there are previous students' work that are lying there, so you can also use those ones. There is no problem, but you make sure that they don't appear here, right? When you see this, and
right,
like me, I am the